What's good, Global Ninja Turtles? We are here to talk about when part 2 should be dropping. So if you're new around here, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. Sub up. Turn on notifications where you get notified when we go live and put up more videos, Appreciate that, 100%. But if you're new to Dokkan Battle, I'm just going to tell you right now, you about to thank the high heavens that literally part 2 and part 3 are only 1 week, so we don't have to sit through 2 weeks of hell for part 2 and part 3. So just thank the high heavens on that one. We do have a lot that we should be really looking at for this one. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Since well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and start it off by saying this right now. The banners should be dropping the 10th or the 11th, depending on if you're East Coast or you're West Coast. If you're East Coast, obviously it'll be like around the 2:30 or whatever. If they're going to change it, I doubt it, but it should be around the 2:30 in the morning. If you go back and look at, like obviously Berlin stuff, they came out the 28th, so that would be exactly 2 weeks. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that should be around the time when, in like 8 days is when the sales are done. And we currently are on the 5th right now. So I think the sales would be there just for a little bit longer. And then obviously it'll carry over and stuff like that where you still summon on it. But the banner should be out at that point in time because it'll be 2 weeks exact. So just throwing it out there right now, because like I said, we are on Thursday right now. So here's the thing, is how a lot of stuff is probably going to be happening over the next couple of days. Obviously, we need to have the in-game notice to pop in. We probably will have some kind of producer letter, whether it be a video format or if they're just going to do an actual producer letter and just be like, hey, here's all the stuff right here, showing it, and that's it. And then like at a later date, we'll show the animations and stuff like that, or they might give out teasers, whatever it is. We should be in probably teaser territory. It just depends on how many teasers they actually want to do, since it is about 5 days currently right now until actually Tuesday, 6 for Wednesday. So you just have to really see exactly what they do with this one, because they could start the teasers out tonight. Now, unfortunately, I do go back to work, so I won't be live for any of those days. You probably just have to wait for me to make the video the day later and stuff like that, because it's going to come out that night. If not tonight, they may start the teasers, like I said. So probably a lot of people might be live waiting and stuff like that. It's just to see if they actually do anything. We're kind of still poking Dokkan with a stick right now, like do something. We all know that at this point in time, they should have a ton of content happening in part 2 and also part 3. And I would like to say to the community that was commenting and stuff like that, I kind of slipped my mind. I'd said it like way earlier, but it kind of slipped my mind to actually go back over that. The actual Frieza, the age-old Frieza, and also the intelligent Super Saiyan Goku could possibly get Easy Ace. Again, this is their time frame that they should be getting Easy Ace, since they were worldwide celebration units. They could get it in part 3. So just throwing it out there right now, they could get their Easy Ace in part 3. And at this point in time, depending on how they sort of deal with Broly, if they deal with Broly in the correct way and make him an absolute monster, then we don't have nothing to worry about. But if we go back to these guys, because Frieza used to be like, if not at that point in time, he was like the hardest hitting unit in the game when he came out. Like, he's actually incredibly good. He puts up numbers. It's just that defensively, he's not that great. And obviously with an Easy A, he would pretty much be diabolical on a team, especially on good Lord, just given so much for Terrifying Conquerors. Oh my good golly gracious, he would be absolutely destructive and diabolical, to be quite honest. And let me check to see if he's in Uncontrollable Forces, because you know how Frieza is. No, but basically, like all these, he's going to be wild. The Goku alone, I don't think I have to say too much about the Goku currently right now, just for the simple fact that with the new Goku trio, or I guess I could really say the Gohan trio, really at this point, because the other one has Goku and Trunks in it. With them, I don't think I have to say that much whatsoever at all. What would happen with this guy right here? So yeah, this Goku could come back in peak form and be absolutely incredible. The only thing about him that we don't really like is that he just don't say "you fool" on this one, so we still waiting for another Super Saiyan Goku that does that one. But I just quickly wanted to say that right now, just for the simple fact that, again, it did slip my mind, and some of you guys were like, hey, remember, part 3, remember, these guys should get an Easy A at this point in time. And again, that would be a very good thing to sort of cap it off in part 3 to get more Dragon Stones, because that would be about 66 Dragon Stones from their Easy A's alone. And then also at the end of the tons of things, well, the tons of things that they give, the 30 Dragon Stones at the end of the celebration and stuff like that. So you'd be looking at about 96 Dragon Stones just right off the bat from that. The only thing that necessarily we're really hoping about is actually content wise. if they're actually going to go through and give us a crap ton of content. I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, the Broly event. If you can't beat the Broly event currently right now, depending on if your summons went absolutely horrible, which again, some people's their summons were terrible. If you can't beat it, it's understandable that you can't beat it right now. Hopefully, like I said, with tons of thanks tickets and stuff like that in part 3, you'll be able to do, a multi on the banner and whichever one that you choose from, and actually hopefully get the unit out of that one. Because last the anniversary that just happened, a lot of people actually did get the unit that they really wanted. So Beast Gohan, it had eluded them with Dragon Stones and tickets beforehand, and then with the tons of thanks, some people actually got it for the tons of thanks. So I wouldn't sleep on those. I know we got them, and if you didn't, go ahead and exchange Memorial Dragon Stones out to get the 21 that you can get from that one. That's tough. Hopefully you still have your Memorial Dragon Stones. You can do it, but I think at this point in time, I think most of the people pretty much did exchange those out. So you still have those to really summon with as well. But I would say this event, since this is only the obviously first stage, the second stage is going to be diabolical. I'm just going to say that right now. Obviously the Broly is, like I say, if you don't have Paragus, and with the part 2 units, if we do get a Bio Broly and he leads the uncontrollable forces, then damn, like just a flat out 200%. But I could see him obviously being the Dokkan Fest, since we already have a Carnival one, and then him being absolutely diabolical as well. And then you could put the Paragus in there, which should help out with these. So I'm going to assume there's probably going to be like 3 stages with this one. It'd be the second coming movie, and then also Bio Broly, the third movie. So this is going to get harder and harder as it goes. And also they'll probably go back and probably give more missions and stuff like that for the other ones. We just don't necessarily know currently right now if they're actually going to give like newer events and stuff like that, because depending on the EZAs, like I said before, we'll cover the EZAs and stuff like that. I'm not going to go talk about every last one of them again, but just if depending on how the EZA and how many people get EZAs, sub EZAs, and then the super EZA if it is for Broly, depending on how that really goes, because again, it is only 1 week. So in that week, we should see a massive stockpile of content at a week, and also in the part 3. Depending on how that goes, we could see either hopefully some new events that they throw in there to get a ton of Dragon Stones from, or they update all these other events through here and we can get a ton of Dragon Stones from them, like say Infinite Dragon Ball, stuff like that. We need to get way more Dragon Stones and stuff like that from that. So like there's a lot that needs to go through, like Super Battle Road and everything. So, and Extreme Super Battle Road, hopefully they get more missions and new stages and stuff like that for that. So if they do that, along with the Paragus story, missions, and everything that you can get from that, and hopefully they bring back something else that can give a ton more Dragon Stones and stuff. But depending on what they do, it needs to be basically jam-packed. 1 week of this with the banners coming out needs to be jam-packed. We've already said this before. Part 1 lacking on the Dragon Stone count, so part 2 and part 3 have to basically hard carry. Have to hard carry. If they don't, yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of problems, and maybe even part 3 probably won't even be able to save it, to be quite honest, unless it's just filled with just a crap ton of Dragon Stones with EZAs and stuff like that at that point in time. So we'll just have to really see, because to be fair, maybe the reason why the Trunks didn't get an EZA from this one for the sub EZA is that they're actually thinking about taking all of those like sub EZAs and just making them their own EZA through here. So that way you can still have the super EZA, the LR EZA, and then all those units get EZA'd in one EZA, and there would be another 30 plus Dragon Stones from it, because all of those units, maybe they do like 2 or 3 because they've done them before, but they've just combined a bunch of units in to get actually EZAs. So we could see something along the lines really for that, which I'm kind of hoping, like you can see here where they just combined 2 units right here. They got EZAs. Hopefully we see something with that alongside maybe even 2 or 3. Maybe they split it into each maybe movie or something like that. Maybe they do that, and that way we can get even more Dragon Stones from it. But like I said, part 2 got a hard carry, part 3 got a hard carry, and like I said, it should be dropping either Tuesday, depending on if you're West Coast or if you're East Coast, and if you're Central Time, it's still going to be on Wednesday morning. So depending on how that goes and how we sort of see all the trickling down sort of I guess information that are going to be given in like teasers and stuff like that over the week and weekend, we'll have to sort of see how they really handle this one, because really, to be honest, we're looking at Omatsu right now like, you better cook. We already know the units. We already know the actual summonable units are going to cook. We already know that, but you need to cook with the content. So that's what we're basically looking at right now. So let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel about this one. I was going to say if you're excited, but like I said, I think most people are sort of curving that excitement a little bit, downplaying it a little bit until we actually start seeing what's really going to happen in part 2, and which is justified 100%. Wait a little bit. But like I said, if you're looking forward to seeing what the actual units are going to be and stuff like that, like I said, we should be getting our teasers and stuff like that since we're at the end of the week and we're going into the weekend. We should be seeing something. Hopefully, if not, at this point in time, I was going to say, to end this off, I was going to say maybe they give us another Dokkan Now sort of special. But I think with the backlash that's been happening with part 1, I think that might be one of the worst things they could possibly actually do, because it's just going to be filled with everyone just going in there and just spamming how bad it is. But it also could be a good thing because everyone could go in and actually spam how bad it was at part 1. We could see that, but I'm hoping that we do, because then they could like rectify a bunch of things and give us a crap ton of Dragon Stones for the special. Well, we'll just have to see. But other than that, man, have an awesome day / night and stay safe. And I'm out. Peace.